African Society of Jesus 187. Seems like they got a lot of their Jesuit puppets up here in Seattle on the 47th parallel. Don't forget Vatican 47, Francis 47, Government 47, Authority 47, Confession 47, Christian 47. But supposedly big confrontations in Seattle with the police. And I was down in Seattle at the beginning of the week on July 21st, the anniversary of the Jesuits being banned. And we were talking to some homeless people in what was formerly the autonomous zone. And one of the homeless people, who seemed pretty cognitive and with it, he just said the whole thing was a big show. He said when it happened, he said you should have seen what it looked like. Helicopters just circling the whole area, all these police marching in like it was a parade. He said it's BS that they shut down the precinct. He said there'd never been more police in the area than there ever was before. And some other homeless people besides him told me that there were people just running around all masked up in black with guns, and it said some people got shot. One of the homeless people pulled up his shirt and said that his scar, he'd just been shot and taken to Harborview recently, but I don't know. I was listening to something he was saying, and I was like, I'm not sure if you're telling tales or not, but one guy I talked to definitely was with it, and he was like, yeah, it's just a bunch of BS. It's all theater. So, again, if you've never talked to homeless people in your life, you might feel less lonely. I'll tell you what. No, it's not that all homeless, there's plenty of homeless people that have lost, they got all sorts of problems, but there's plenty of people that are homeless that are way more cognitive and aware of what's going on in this world than, your brain dead zombie sitting in his apartment or home in front of his TV getting all of his information through the mainstream. I know for a fact if we could put up a panel of homeless people in this nation and, a panel of the average American people, the homeless people are going to be a lot more with it, a lot more awake to what's going on. And there are a lot of homeless people that choose to be homeless because they don't want anything to do with the society. They're like in full-on protest mode. They don't want to pay any taxes. There's actually a lot of people on the street that are that way. It shows they didn't want to be part of this evil system, so they're living a different way. Fox News is a headline for this same type of story. Divided we stand. And remember, those are Jesuit tactics. Divide and conquer, infiltrate. You think about that JFK speech from years ago. JFK gave the speech to the press club about secret societies. And then he ends up dying in Dealey Plaza, named after a man who's part of a secret society who was a member of the press. But JFK, he talked about, these secret societies, they work by infiltration. And they say Jesuits, they pick agents that come in all shapes, sizes, colors, backgrounds. So anyway, that's what it's all about. And that really should be the tagline for this nation. It's always been divided we stand. I've never seen anything really united in this nation. It's everybody out for themselves. And, anyway. All right, so the Washington Redskins renamed themselves the Washington Football Team, and this might be a temporary name. Notice they did something really generic and vague, like so that nobody could ever critique it in any way. It's just the Washington Football Team. But again, it's all ritual. They did it on July 23rd, 237, the prime factorization of 42, what the ritual's all about. And football team equals 122, like National Football League 122. And there's probably some riddle in there with Kansas City because it equals 122. And again, we called the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. And we had it all synced up with the Redskins and Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl at the Redskins. It's all one huge big related ritual. And don't forget that Andy Reid in the Super Bowl that he just won with the Chiefs, it was his 122nd game with the Chiefs, and not only does Kansas City equal 122, but so does San Francisco, who they played. And, of course, he got his 222nd career win, 222, exactly 222 weeks after the Kansas City Royals won the World Series. And when you write out February 2nd, his words, the date of the Super Bowl, it equals 222. But the day the Redskins did this, they did it 49 days before the season opener where the Chiefs play the Texans. And that'll be on the day leaving 112 days left in the year, and Houston's 112 and Chiefs is 112 like Super Bowl. But 49 days from the opener, and again, NFL's 49, Washington's 49, America's 49, Scottish 49, American football credited to the Scottish Rite Freemason Walter Camp. And from the Super Bowl to the day they did this, 172 days later, that Jesuit motto, and it would make sense to have a Jesuit ritual coming off of Super Bowl 54 because Jesuit order equals 54. And then the Jesuit motto, ad majorem de gloriam, or however you say it, equals 172, 172 days later. Boom. And remember, the year before there was a ritual with 172 in the Super Bowl as well. The only man to score a touchdown, Sony Michel, his birthday is 17/2, the same day as Michael Jordan's, and he scored the only touchdown at the 53rd minute of the game in Super Bowl 53, and then Brady was compared to Jordan after the game. And Sony Michel, the Super Bowl was 351 days after his birthday, the 26th triangular number. He wears the number 26. He won that championship a year after losing the championship in the same building in college football where Alabama beat Georgia with 26 points and Nick Saban tied Bear Bryant where Bear's 26, Bryant's 26. He died in 1983 on January 26, 37 years to the day of Kobe Bryant. Bryant's 26 forwards, 37 in reverse. Again, all ritual. And speaking of Jordan, that famous poster, Jordan with his arm tucked back about to dunk with his legs way up tucked back. Look at the clock that's captured behind Jordan in that photo. 3:51 on the clock. 3:51, the 26th triangular number, Jordan 26. The Jesuit translation of Isus hominum salvator is... Uh-oh. Why can I not think? Oh, no, not that one. That's the wrong one. The other translation of the Jesuit motto, for the greater glory of God, equals 351, the 26th triangular number, and God's 26 like Jordan. And again, in that famous poster, 3:51 on the clock behind Jordan. It's amazing that it's like that. You have to think about how many times in Jordan's career he dunked on fast breaks, which is a lot. There's a reason that one's one of the most remembered iconic images. It's because of what's captured on the shot clock right behind it. The thing most people aren't paying attention to at all. But again, most people aren't good with numbers. The people who are counting are. And here was another one that made me laugh. Speaking of the world of sports, I've been talking a lot about Seattle and Atlanta and 247 because they're the only two cities that have the 247 connection. And here we are in the 247th year since the Jesuits were banned. Of course, they've since been brought back by the church. But Russell Wilson, this big Seattle, Washington sports star, Seattle, Washington 247. And on 24/7, him and Sierra supposedly have their child, whose name is... Where's his name at? His name is Wynn Harrison Wilson. What a name. And Wynn equals 19 like Seattle. I suppose they got pregnant with Wynn in the end of 2019, sometime around October. So Wynn Harrison Wilson. Good name there for Seattle. See what that means for the upcoming Seahawks season. Sierra's 34 years old right now. Mother equals 34. This came 93 days before her 35th birthday, that number that's associated with time. It also came 39 weeks after her last birthday. For the sports people, you know 39 is a big number with Russell Wilson. He has 39 birth numerology, number that shows up a lot in his career. A few years ago, it fell on a Sunday, his birthday, and he was playing the Steelers on that day. And sure enough, the Seahawks won with 39 points over the Steelers. And what was comical, it was the last touchdown. The Steelers didn't even guard the receiver. Nobody even guarded him. He was just wide open. He just threw an easy pass to him and just runs down the whole field to get these 39 points at the end. It's like, look at this crap. It's just like last season when Russell Wilson ran the ball in the end zone and immediately they had a stat, like as soon as he rushed it in, just whoever had the game on Fox or whatever, they put up a stat. Russell Wilson's first rushing touchdown since this date. And I was like, look how fast they have that. Like, how is it possible to just have that on the screen, right? Did they know Russell Wilson was going to run the ball in there? And of course they did. It's all scripted. But again, these are the things people don't catch on to. But I just had to run it right away. I just had to run the numbers from the date they put up to the date that he scored this rushing touchdown that they bring the stat up right away. It was 666 days. 666 since his last rushing touchdown, which of course was funny because moments earlier they'd been talking about the Beast Quake, which is a famous moment in Seahawks history with Marshawn Lynch. The word Beast is 47. 666 is the number of the Beast. Seattle's on the 47th parallel. Of course, this year on July 4th, 4/7, you had the death ritual in Seattle with the young women, and the mayor's name, Jenny Durkin, equals 47, and that was her 47th day of her age, and said it was going to be the summer of love in Seattle. And the girls who were hurt in a car accident, one of which died, their names were Summer and Love. Let's see. Russell Wilson, the child was born 34 weeks after his birthday. Again, mother's 34, the mother's 34 years old, so seems to be coordinated between the two. So, we'll see. See what the life of Wynn brings. I'm sure, as sick as it is, the way they have these celebrities procreate, they've probably already marked down the date, whenever it is, for the day that Wynn gets ritually sacrificed, along with Sierra and Russell Wilson. They probably, somewhere they have a calendar with all three of their dates and what day they get 86th. Because again, you start to pay attention to what's going on in this world, you see that's how it is. Everything is ritual in the world of media and celebrity, including the day these celebs give birth and the day they expire. Let's see. Experts urge U.S. to shut down and start over. Yeah, let's just ruin everybody's life. Let's just keep printing money and sending people checks like Andrew Yang said. How convenient. The Chinese guy who said pretty soon we'd all be expendable and we just need the government to send us monopoly money. Remember, he ran on math. That meant, what was the phrase, math? Make America think harder. And then what day did he end his campaign? On the 42nd day of the year, where math equals 42. That date can be written 11/2, like 112, February 11th. Andrew Yang equals 112, like mathematics is 112, like 1 + 1 is 2. Again, just all puppet show, all mockery. And with regards to what in the heck is going on in Portland, remember, they're introducing the federal police there. Oregon's the 33rd state. Federal's 33. Police is 33. And then in this article that they wrote yesterday, they said that these federal forces actually showed up there on 7/4, July 4th, 7/4. Remember, Oregon's the only state that equals 74 at the alphabetic order. The most simple cipher, 74. And it's the 33rd state, and they love to bring 33 and 74 together. And Trump's now come out and said that there's a name for this federal police program, and it's called Operation Legend. Well, look at Operation Legend. 74, right? And it first gets deployed to Oregon, the state that equals 74, and now they're telling us that they showed up there on 7/4? Must just be another coincidence. Operation Legend, also 79, like Society of Jesus. That 160 jumps as well, too, because martial law is 160, and that's clearly what they're building up towards. You know, more ideas of federal troops, federal police, National Guard deployments. Again, you guys, what we're living out right now, it has nothing to do with a virus, which is all bullshit. It has everything to do with, you know, the planned chaos that they're bringing about to push us in the way of their one world agenda, which will be a world that's even worse for us now than it already is. And, you know, there's a lot more to say about that. But again, just to recognize how it's all being done by the code. QAnon, another 74, sucked in a bunch of morons who think the proud pussy grabber is something to cheer for. The man born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
And just quickly, 160, mind control, toilet paper. And I might be forgetting one as well. I know we're a family, 160. But yeah.
Man who's given $100 million from his father back in, what, the 60s? When he got out of high school? Squandered up. Can you imagine squandering $100 million in the 60s?
And I need to check what day that was. Because if that was on Friday, experts urge the US, if any had us on Friday, basically 160 days leave, basically 24th of July, and a leap year. I don't actually think it matters actually, because on the date, it's the top one that's orange, not the bottom one for the numbers in and out. But anyway, with the numbers out, yellow, basically orange is leap year. But anyway, it's 160 days remaining. Operation Legend equals 160. So anyway, it may or may not be, because I haven't checked it and I'm recording right now. But I'll have a look after.
Because that's what Donald Trump did. That's like billions of dollars today. That just shows you what a loser this guy is. And then he has to go get federal bailouts from taxpayers, because again, the whole system's built by the rich. so that anytime they screw up, they can just get their fortunes back from the taxpayers. But anyway, all by the numbers here from Puppet Chump. And oh yeah, by the way, the Nationals got beat with the Black Lives Matter on the mound by the Yankees. Symbolic. Again, it makes sense to have Black Lives Matter on the mound in Washington, D.C., because remember, Black Lives Matter equals 56, Washington, D.C. 56, Society of Jesus 56. They painted George Floyd on 16th Street, or not George Floyd, they painted Black Lives Matter on 16th Street on June 5th. A date that can be written 5-6 like 56, or 6-5 like 65, because George Floyd's 65. And again, they did that on 16th Street, which is Church Street. And of course, in history, there was the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing of September 15, 1963, a date with 106 numerology, like how black is 106 and Black Lives Matter is 106, and I Can't Breathe is 106, and Prophecy is 106. It's BLM by the numbers, and they did that on July 23rd. 237, the prime factors of 42, the number coded all over Black history. And by the way, Seattle has a new team name. They have a new NHL team coming, apparently. Seattle Kraken. Kraken's a big monster that comes from the scene. And supposedly a fan named it, which is obviously bullshit because the Gematria tells the tale. Seattle Kraken's 43, like Seattle Seahawks is 43, who won their only Super Bowl 48, by scoring 43 points. And they beat the team from Colorado, and Colorado's 43. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Seahawks is 48. Like how they won Super Bowl 48 with 43 points. But they love this number in this town with the sports teams. Seattle Kraken 43, Seattle Seahawks 43, Mariners 43. Freemasons, the plural is 43. And that might be what it's all about. Because again, Seattle's up on the 47th parallel. And of course, 47 degrees on the Masonic compass of the Scottish Rite out of France. France
Masonic equals 43.
47. And Kraken's also 24, like Seahawks. Another number the Seahawks like there. But they lost their NBA team. They didn't have much fanfare. And, you know, in light of all this stuff being rigged, we'll see what they do with this NHL team. They're going to have to make it good for the fans to come out. Fans don't come out in Seattle for any sports unless the team is good. So they're bringing the NHL team. We'll see if they do like some Jacksonville Jaguars type thing where they're just good from the get. Or maybe they'll just, I don't know. Nobody watches hockey anyway. We'll see what happens with it. But Seattle's got the most fair weather fans of all sports fans probably in the world. They only come out if a team is winning. So the Kraken better show up. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, the main thing I wanted to talk about was, again, how I've written a book about weather warfare and the number 52, and how I've taught about for all these years how these storms continue to hit on 52 dates. And on May 7th of this year, I told people to specifically circle July 25th. We circled all the 52 dates for July, August, and September. And sure enough, I mean, what are the odds of predicting the date of a hurricane, which is something we've done how many times over the years? Countless times. Because it's all controlled and managed by the code. So Hurricane Hanna, in case you got here late, made landfall on Texas on the 52-date numerology, which we circled on May 7th. Because again, the headline came out that day about how there were going to be more hurricanes than normal this year. We said, okay, let's circle our 52 dates. So July 25th, we get our first hurricane to make landfall. Again, Hurricane 52 like flood. Hurricane's also 97, which is the 25th prime number. Flood's also 25. Hanna makes landfall on the 25th on the 52-date numerology. Hanna also equals 97 and 25 as well as 20, like how it's the first hurricane to hit in 2020, and I doubt it'll be the last. So I just feel like work like this, research like this over all these years, just being right about all these things, calling the sports championships before the season starts, the news stories, who's going to die, what date, the storms, the elections. I just feel like at this point, based on everything that has been done and accomplished and been correct about and that's undeniable about, I just feel like...
Go on.
It's just amazing to me that there's not, like, you know, millions upon millions upon millions of people talking about and sharing this work.
Exactly.
I just don't get it. Is it really that people are that dumb, that dense? Oh, maybe he just got lucky. Maybe it's just I can't comprehend that somebody could make A equal 1 and B equal 2. That just seems so out there. You can only do that with, you know. All you guys who ask, like, how's this? Again, it's really pretty simple what they do to us. It's arithmetic. Second graders could execute this.
That's a part of being dumb. You're not aware. There should be a way to tell, like a home pregnancy test type thing. Some shit you take it home and you lick it and you go, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Shit! What the fuck is this? It's broken. Dudes would never believe it. Idiots would be fucking boxes. Liar! Cocksucker! No!
All you guys who ask, like, how is this? Again, it's really pretty simple what they do to us. It's arithmetic. Second graders could execute this. And of course, there is a lot of science to what they're doing with these storms and the technology, but in terms of the execution and how repetitive it is, it's just really easy to see and understand. So, especially since it's been admitted since 1952 by the Royal Air Force that they've been able to induce flash flooding with military, and then the United States a decade after that admitted that they were flooding out Vietnam with essentially chemistry and science. So, apologies I didn't bring the phone with me, you guys. I would take some phone calls today. Just for a few other updates. I suppose I can do this real quick. I'll do the thing on the Patreon again. If you guys want to get out a message, I'm going to go on patreon.com. And I'm just going to say live stream respond. If you guys want anything to share and you're a member of Patreon, just log in. And I'll give you guys a few minutes here to let me get the comment up so you can respond to it.